We're on.
Okay.
Come on.
How do you meant
There
to
you
this?
go. Hey.
How do you meant to this?
One way. One way. One way. One way. One way. One way. Yeah. Come on. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. Good evening. Listen, we got a subject out tonight that every Liberian anywhere in the world ought to be turning on, whether you're in Liberia, London, Paris, Istanbul, Turkey, Jamaica, as far as Australia. It doesn't matter if you are a Liberian. Whether you are of one parent or both parentage from Liberia, you need to get somebody right now to connect. Hey, look, you need to share this right now, folks. This is serious. This is serious. And I've got the people who are virtuosos who know the best thing they can share with us about this. Ladies and gentlemen, I told you to join me tonight on the eve of the election in the United States. Tonight, November 2nd, here at 7 p.m., we will be exploring the joint resolution proposal of the Liberian legislature on Proposition 1 as it pertains to dual citizenship. Are you concerned about dual citizenship? How come other countries in Africa got it and we don't? What's the matter? Why are we behind? We got the people who can answer the question. Folks, you need to share this. This concerns you. It concerns you. It concerns your children. It concerns your children's children, especially if they've been born in America. I know it concerns me. I am deeply interested. I want to know, and I've got the people who are in the know, the people who's behind this. Yes, yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am talking about this. And listen tonight. It pertains to dual citizenship. The proposition affects every Liberian and the future and trajectory of the Liberian nation. Our special guest this evening, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, they call him Your Eminent. Your Eminent. Ladies and gentlemen, our special guest tonight, Your Eminent, Emmanuel S. Wetty. That's who you see right there. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's waving to us. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you a little bit about this man. He is the chairman of the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. The chairman. Oh, come on, son. I know I had something on that. You need to share this, ladies and gentlemen. You need to share this because you need to know. In fact, they know more about it than I can. So I'm going to first introduce you to him. I told you he is the chairman of the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. Our my friend of the soil of the nation Liberia, Eminent Emmanuel S. Wetty, chairman of the All Liberian Conference. Welcome to Charles Levi Martin's show tonight. Welcome, my brother.
Thank you, Reverend. Thank you very much. Ekunu Ondo. Yeah, I emailed you that. Yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, he's getting in contact with his counterpart. Well, we have
Thank
have our attention.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Thank you very much, Reverend, my spiritual leader. Thank you very much for all your support in the path of dual citizenship. My name is Emmanuel S. Wetty. I'm the chairman of the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. This conference comprises of the Union of Liberian Association in the Americas. You have IFLA, the guys from Europe. You have Koloswa, Liberian from the Southwest United States. You have Liberians in Australia. You have Liberians in Ghana, and you got Liberians in Canada. In 2012, we met and put our resources together to only advocate for dual citizenship. And since 2012, we have been on this path advocating for dual citizenship for Liberians, for Liberia. And
wow. Wait a minute. Let me see if I'm understanding you correctly. You guys have been on this path since 2012.
Yeah, in fact, if we really want to dig the history,
okay.
Saint Manston from Maryland County, along with Reverend John Law, Vice President Benedict Warner, they started this whole thing.
Okay.
At the time,
wait. Don't tell me this because I was on another show not long ago. I used to be on a show not long ago, and they tried to get the impression that this thing would be George Weah instigated this. So this thing started 2012.
Long before 2012.
Okay.
Long before 2012. When Clayton Watterson was President pro tem.
Okay.
And that's how the whole started with Reverend John Lloyd, Vice President Benedict Warner, and Hill Marston from Maryland.
Okay.
They got together and formed, the whole movement of dual citizenship. But when it came to Liberia,
right,
they were very surprised. The resentment from the police.
Yeah.
They were too surprised. Benedict Warner, myself, we talked. He said, when they got there, it was like, no, you guys can have it. You guys can have it.
Wait a minute. These are Liberians who are depriving Liberians from being able to be Liberian or Liberian while having dual citizenship.
Yeah. So when the organization when they came back from Liberia, they were kind of discouraged. And at the time, I became president of the union, and Senator Master called me and told me the whole thing. He said, look, you guys can take it from this point. But the union at the time was not focusing on dual citizenship. We were focusing on immigration because, immigration at the time was a big thing for us. Our people were going to be deported. So the resources and time were all allocated to immigration activities. And thank God today, our people now are talking about green card. So Liberians from Europe and from all over the world begin to individually campaign for dual citizenship. Everybody, you that would go to to Liberia. IFLA, the Federation of Europeans, will go to Liberia. The Australian will go to Liberia, and it was just like that. So in 2012, we decided under the leadership of Mr. Geisler of EULA, we decided, look, why can we put our resources together? Why can we come together
Correct.
and just advocate on this thing? So we met at the time that Ambassador Jeremiah Slunter encouraged us. We met in DC December the 8th, 2012. And from there, we funded the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. And since 2012, we have collectively advocated for this thing. We traveled across the globe. We met President Eddie Johnson Sirleaf many times, several times in Europe, in America, in Liberia. And it was our hope that President Sirleaf was going to really, do the best he can to have this thing passed. Unfortunately for us, the entire 12 years of President Sirleaf, it didn't work out.
12
It
years.
didn't work out. Yeah, 12 years. We talked to her, we met to her, and let me say for the record, she did well. I mean, she kept it on the table, on the political table. She every time she gave her under message, she would say something about it. So at least she kept it on the table. But being that she lived in the diaspora and being that we have talked to her, we expected more
to get further
happen.
Along with that.
Yeah, for her. So nothing happened until she left her office. Then when President Weah came on, in the first year of President Weah, he declared support for dual citizenship. Okay. In the second year of President Weah, he made a legislative agenda item for his administration to make sure that this thing happened.
So let me see if I getting you correctly. I need you to slide a little bit in the center because both of us on the screen now. I need you to slide to the right. There you go. Keep coming that way. Keep coming that way. Because folks say they want to see you good. Oh, we got somebody else in the back in the studio. Hey, there you go. Hold on one second. Oh, there we go. Now we got the three of us on. Ladies and gentlemen, we just got another guest to come in right now.
Hold on, let me get it light.
Okay. But folks, we got the minds who have been on this thing for before 2012. You heard him talk about somebody like former Vice President Bishop Warner, Benny D. Warner, who was an advocate of this. You hear him talking about them speaking to Vice President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who kept it on the table. And today we have this. And ladies and gentlemen, right now, we got another guest. Amen. I'm gonna do this right now. I'm gonna have him introduce himself. I know who he is, but he is, in fact, the advisor. Amen. I'm right? He's the strategic advisor on the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. That's right. And his name, ladies and gentlemen, his name is right here for me. That's right. That's Wilmer W. Cooney, strategic advisor, All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. Emmanuel, we're coming right to you. We just want to welcome you, Wilmer. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Reverend Martin. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure being here. Thank you.
It's wonderful having you, and I'm so grateful because, listen, as I've been saying, every Liberian ought to be paying attention to this because this is something that affects every Liberian. We've been getting a little history on this dual citizenship plight, this journey. What I'd like right now is Emmanuel, can you do me a favor and do the audience a favor? Tell us really, what is Proposition 1?
Well, what I would do is that I will hand it up to the strategic advisor to go ahead.
Okay. We'll turn it to him.
Well, again, Reverend Martin, thank you very much. Proposition 1 is just simply an approach to redefine the issue of citizenship in our country.
Okay.
Every country in the world, citizenship is defined by the Constitution. It is the Constitution that defines who constitute the citizen of that country.
Okay.
So for a very long time, many of us born in Liberia, raised in Liberia, just like on so many issues, we've assumed, we've made a lot of assumptions on the issue of citizenship.
Hmm.
Now, when the war came and we all fled Liberia, hundreds of thousands of Liberians to many, many parts of the world,
True.
and because of different situations, Liberians that fled decided to take citizenship in those countries, not in condemnation of their country of birth, but as a process for them to be a part of those societies that they were in. Then little did we realize that by doing so, there was a law on our books
Mm.
that were telling those Liberians that they can no longer be citizens of their country, the country that they were born, the country that their parents, their friends, and everybody. So this
Now,
is
now you're
where,
talking about this law on the book in a part of the Constitution?
no, it is a statutory law.
Aha! Because
It is
I was looking at Article 28 today, and nothing there says that I cannot be a dual citizen.
it is a statutory law. But what is also implied in the Constitution, if you also read under the Article 28 you're talking about, they will tell you that if you were born in Liberia and in a situation where one of your parents was a non-Liberian, then when you reach the age of maturity,
Correct.
you had to choose
Correct.
the citizenship that you wanted.
Correct.
Many of our legal friends, what they tell us is that with the provision written that way, that means
Can you get a little closer to the mic? We need to. I'm not hearing you loud enough.
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you a little louder.
Okay. Let me so many of the people were saying that if you have a constitution that imposes a responsibility on citizens to make a choice because one of their parents was not a Liberian, basically what our constitution is telling you is that we don't allow two citizenship citizens. Because if the constitution did allow that, then there is no need for you to even make that choice. There is no need. So that's the battle that we've been going around. We first tried to change the statute that explicitly prohibit the dual citizenship thing, and we didn't go far enough. So we thought that maybe the better way to do it is to go through the constitution so that it can be the law of the land. Instead of it just having a statutory change that one legislature can come tomorrow and make a new law, and then we got to go back to go fight again. We think that that whole issue needed to be resolved by the Constitution. So basically, that's what Proposition 1 is doing.
All right, so I understand now that this is a joint resolution that is at the legislature. A joint resolution meaning the House of Senate and the representative. It's before them. Is that where we are now?
No, we've even passed that now.
We passed that. Okay, go ahead.
We passed that. The national legislature has approved the amendment process.
Okay.
And where we are now is for that proposition to be voted on by the Liberian people. For the Liberian people to say, oh, excuse me, I'm using your name. I don't want to assume your citizenship. But for the Liberian people to say, oh, Wemo Kuni, Levi Martin, those who were Liberian and they went to America, they get citizenship, they are still Liberian.
Correct.
That's what the proposition is about. It is basically the affirmation of the citizenship rights of Liberians who obtain the citizenship of other countries. That's what the proposition is about. It's affirming our rights. It's affirming our link to Liberia. It is saying that, look, once a Liberian, you will always be a Liberian, no matter if you obtain citizenship of other countries. That's what the proposition is about.
Okay. Now, am I to understand that this other article you spoke about takes away your citizenship if you are of a citizen of another country?
Oh yeah, I mean the current law we have on the book now. If you are a Liberian, you take up the citizenship of another country, you're no longer citizen of Liberia. That's
okay, but that current law was not part of the original Constitution, though.
No, this is what I'm saying. A statute, mind you now.
Yeah, the statue. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So our country, the laws that make up our country, that's the constitution, that statutory law, that executive orders, those are the body of laws that make up the system of laws for our country.
Yeah,
So
because
you
I was looking for that statue and I couldn't find it today. I only could see what the Constitution said because I don't have that statue now. But if
that's the 1973 Alien and Nationality Act that was amended in 1974.
but what I see in this is citizens are being alienated from the citizenship.
Exactly, that's what the statute does.
Oh man.
That's what the statute does. So now you see, Reverend Martin, many people will say, oh, but you know, I'm Liberian, I'm a citizen of other country, I go to Liberia, nobody bother me. That's the fact. But the question is, the fact that you pass to a stop sign every day, the police don't stop you, doesn't mean that it is not a violation.
Correct.
You know?
You know, it's
So,
interesting that you're talking about this because, listen, I know that they say if only Liberians can own land in Liberia.
right.
That is why I have been in America for 44 years. I'm still not an American citizen because I didn't want to lose property at home.
So to remove that anxiety, this is where we are pushing for Proposition 1, because if Proposition 1 passes, then that can no longer be a concern on the part of any Liberian.
But then other concerns come up because the more I read about what has been approved or want to be approved is that there are limitations to how far I can go or where I can serve my country if I have dual citizenship. And I find that's abominable.
Exactly, and we all agree. We don't support the restrictions, especially many of the restrictions. But the way we see it, you see, somehow we see change as an evolutionary process. When you
Okay.
advocating, you advocating on the basis of things coming up, stage by stage. Now that the first stage is to first get that constitutional answer that once you are a Liberian, you are forever a Liberian, for it to be defined constitutionally. After we pass that stage, we believe that we can continue the advocacy to remove some of the restrictions. Mind you, there should be some restriction, except that we find these restrictions a little bit extreme. You don't want, for example, you don't want the president of your country being a citizen of two countries. You don't want that. Nobody wants that. You don't want your vice president to be vice president of your country but holding citizenship in another country. We don't want that. Those are reasonable restrictions. But there are other restrictions that are part of this proposition that are unreasonable. We agree to that. We concede that point. But we are saying that we still have the means, we still have the ability to advocate for the removal of these restrictions once we get our foot in the door. Right now, we also are.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. Once you get inside, then you can fight better.
Exactly. That's the point we keep making to our colleagues. We don't agree to the restrictions. But right now, we are outside. We are saying, open the door, let's get inside. When we get inside now, then we'll be thinking, oh, but we inside now, you alone can't eat the food. We got to eat some of the food.
No. Let me say that a lot of Liberians, a lot of folks who are in the high echelons of our society, a lot of folks like I was learning earlier was adamantly against this.
Exactly.
Why?
I mean, and sometimes some of our friends that disagree with our desire to push the proposition despite the restrictions. Sometimes they create the mistaken notion that this dual citizenship has been a popular thing in Liberia. This has never been a popular thing, really. I was in Liberia in 2013. I led a delegation of EULA along with Eminent Emmanuel Weti and our colleagues from Europe to actually get on the ground to advocate for this. When we got to Liberia, almost everybody on the ground was against the idea. We had a radio show.
But wait a minute. Why were they against it? Why? What was the point? What was the reason?
Ravi, there are many reasons, but for the reason why sometimes the reason why people were against that is all part of the look, it's part of our national fabric, the thing that defines us as a nation. You know, for some reason, Liberians have never felt that we all can live in that one little country called Liberia. At any point in our history, there is a group of Liberians that always feel that the stage is too small for all of us to be there. And this is a historical problem, that we all cannot be Liberians at the same time in our own country. So you got a lot of issues on the road. You got a lot of issues. You got envy, you got bitterness, you got division, you got all kinds of things. So
and I needed you to talk about that because that seems to be so intrinsic in our society
exactly.
that they want to deny you your own birthright.
Exactly.
Because
exactly.
what? I've heard people say because you guys are a threat. You got education, you got a sophistication. If you come here, you would take our job. If you come here, come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about some of these real reasons.
So now you see the opposition. The opposition is that, well, look, these guys, in fact, many people will tell you, oh, in fact, they will say that we fled from the war. Y'all left during the war. Instead of saying y'all ran for your safety. You understand what I'm saying? Almost everybody that left Liberia during that time, be it the 1980 coup, be it the 1989 Civil War, and all of it, they fled this condition. They fled conditions in their country that could not guarantee their safety. And now people tell us, oh, y'all left the country, we the one on the ground, and y'all want to take our job. That is the kind of environment in which we are discussing.
But that doesn't make sense. The natural law of survival is you migrate, you adjust, or you perish. Okay? Rather than perish, folks migrated. That's a natural process.
And you and myself, we are in perfect agreement on this. But so now you understand the environment in which this change, this proposition is being made. That political environment where even the politicians, some of the politicians that agree with us, they are in that environment in which many of their constituents feels that Liberians that live in the diaspora, they only have one interest in Liberia, only to go to Liberia, to take over jobs, to do this, to do that. And politicians respond to their constituents. So it is in this environment that this proposition was being pursued. So you can understand why some of the restrictions were made. We understand why some of the restrictions were made. Even some of the politicians, agree.
No, while we might understand it, we certainly do not agree with it.
Exactly.
Okay, I want that clear.
We don't agree with it. We don't agree with it. Because some of them, most of them too, the politicians were they inserted those restrictions to protect themselves. Because who you think, somebody in the national legislature, somebody who is a representative, somebody who is a senator, let's put it this way, let's be practical. Do you really believe that the ordinary Liberian are walking up and down the street, moving from Nikutan, going to Sinko, selling in the market? Do you think it is that Liberian that is afraid of you or me? No. The people that are afraid of you and me are the people that are in the political class. People that are in the economic class. These are the people that are afraid of the competition. If you and myself were to go to Liberia now, the area where we will compete is not in the area where the ordinary people are.
The ordinary grassroots. But
grassroots are not there.
What they fail to recognize is if we're going to lift Liberia up, then we need all hands on deck, especially those who are experienced, those who are principled, those who are professionals. That is what our country needs.
I agree with you.
Dice, I will get to you in a second, Dice. I'm looking it up. But go ahead, my brother.
I tell you, myself, you are on point. So the question is, we say these things not to justify the exclusions, but to understand the environment in which these exclusions were made. If I'm responsible to approve of something for you, and I know what I'm approving of will put me in a competitive situation, the natural inclination is for me to reduce the opportunity for that competition.
Yeah.
So that's the point. So what we're saying is that, look, these restrictions are restrictions we don't agree with. Some of them don't make sense at all. That Liberians can even they can serve in executive positions. They
You know,
can do
there
this,
is something
they can do that.
I want to just see if I can read out real quickly. It talks about restrictions imposed by the proposition. Another concern expressed by some Liberians regarding the proposition is the sweeping restrictions imposed on those with dual citizenship as stated herein. If these restrictions are based on national security concerns and are grounded on empirical research and findings, any further inquiry is foreclosed. If not, they are counterproductive and are not within the spirit intent. And that is so true because they were never intended. But it goes on to say there is also a concern that the restrictions do not seem to apply evenly between naturalized citizens and dual citizens and natural born. Liberians who acquire another citizenship are restricted from holding certain positions, but the proposition does not state whether naturalized citizens can be restricted from holding certain positions. What I was trying to find out and go to try to answer Dice Cooper, and maybe you can help me with, what are some of the restrictions?
Well, according to the proposition, if the proposition passes, our country will accept the situation where a natural-born Liberian who obtained the citizenship of another country can continue to be citizen of Liberia. But that natural-born Liberian citizen cannot be a cabinet minister. You cannot be a deputy cabinet minister. You cannot be a director and some other public service positions. You cannot be a senator. You cannot be a representative. You cannot hold any elected office. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, but then what do you do?
Yeah,
what do you do with your education? What do you do with your thoughts? What do you do with your ingenuity? What do you do with that skill? All these things that the country needs. They need your mind. So they're trying to limit what you can do in your country. Is that to discourage dual citizenship?
Well, but we gotta look at it both ways. Look, like I said, Ravi, we don't agree with some of those restrictions. But the fact of the matter is, there are other things that you can do as a citizen of Liberia other than those positions. That is not to justify them. That is not to justify the exclusion. But there are other things that we can do as a Liberian citizen. Look, the statistics is all there. The question is, how many of us leave from here that want to be a senator? How many of us leave from here that want to be a cabinet minister? There may be a very few of us that have that desire. But the desire of many of our constituents that we serve in America is to freely move in between whatever country that they are citizenship of to the country of their birth without any hindrance. That is their desire. They want to go to their churches. They want to go to the schools. They want to go set up agricultural businesses. They want to go set up different kind of businesses without any restriction, without going to one Liberian, moving from one Liberian embassy to the other Liberian embassy to go and get a visa to go to your own country of birth. That is the psychological thing. Can you imagine you born in Liberia, you go to Liberia because you hold a citizenship of another country, you are required to go to Liberia as a foreigner to apply for a visa to go to your own country of birth. So this proposition will remove all of that.
You know, let me ask this. Aren't there other African countries all around us that have dual citizenship?
Oh yeah, they do, but also they do have restrictions too.
Okay, they do have, but at least they do have dual citizenship.
Yeah, they do, and we got to. This is why I'm saying we have to, in our opposition to the restrictions, we have to be fair-minded, we have to be objective, and we have to present as much information as we can present. Even Ghana, the model of many of us, Ghana dual citizenship has restrictions. You can't be chief of staff, you can't be this, you can't be that. Sierra Leone, you can't be member of parliament. Nigeria, they are all restrictions. I want to believe the only country that has dual citizenship with no restriction is the state of Israel. Maybe because of their history and other issues. But almost every country has restrictions regarding dual
But
citizenship.
let's talk about history and look at the relationship of Israel with the United States and look at the relationship of Liberia with the United States. Okay? My understanding in terms of our own history is that Liberia was founded as a haven for men of color.
I agree.
Okay? And the relationship between America and Liberia has been strong over the years in terms of its currency, in terms of its constitution, in terms of its declaration of independence, in terms of its flag.
I agree. We got all of those. We have all of those in common. But notwithstanding, we have these laws that are in place in our country. And what I'm saying is, we have to understand the proposition. We have to understand the benefit of the proposition. We have to understand the shortcomings of the proposition. And we have to understand that when you are in a democracy, when you are fighting for change, some of the things that you fight for, they don't come immediately.
I
They come
agree.
step by
I've been
step.
watching the great United States.
Right,
Everything did not come right away.
right away.
Barack Obama talk about brick by brick, callous hands by callous hands. I get it. And I get the point where you say we need to get in the door. So
Right.
where are we in getting in the door? You
Where
tell
are
me.
we?
That's
Where
what we
are we?
want to know.
Where are we getting in the door, Reverend, is that come December 8th,
Uh-huh.
the proposition will go to the Liberian people.
Okay.
And what we can do now as Liberians living in the diaspora is to put our resources together
Okay.
to go to Liberia to ensure that the proposition pass.
Okay.
Besides putting resources together here, we also need to get in contact with our family people.
Uh-huh. Okay.
We need to get in contact with our friends. We need to get in contact with our schoolmates. Because let me tell you, my experience in Liberia, as I told you, when we were on the radio,
Uh-huh.
the dual citizenship was not popular. Every caller called against dual citizenship. But guess what?
Uh-huh.
In our private discussion, when you meet your friends, when you meet your family member, when you meet your schoolmates, and you
Yeah.
ask them, do you really believe that because I go to America, I take an American citizenship, do you really believe that I'm no longer Liberian? They will say, no. I beg you, man. I will not be Liberian. You understand?
But they're
That's the
talking from
dynamic.
two sides of their mouths.
You see? So that's the dynamic. So we have to do the people say the Jehovah Witness campaign.
We got to do the groundwork.
The groundwork. We have to get on the phone. And you know, Rabbi Martin Miller, I can imagine your influence in Liberia. Don't play with me. I know you. I know what you can do in Liberia.
But we also know the climate in Liberia.
I know.
Let me say this. You also know the climate in Liberia.
I know.
Let us not go there because you know what been happening in the last few weeks.
No, but listen, on this, I know what be happening. But on this one, we and the government, we are together. We are together.
Okay.
Because the proposition was passed by the national legislature. The president strongly approved the proposition. And you and me and Eminent Wetty and other prominent Liberians in the diaspora, we know our riches in our country.
Let me say that you talk about riches, and I heard REACHES, but I also heard RICHES. A huge part of the Liberian economy depends on us who are in the diaspora.
And these are the...
Hold on, because we got a strong purse. We got a strong bargaining chip because they don't want us have dual citizenship, but they want the money we send.
So you got it correct.
Talk to me about that.
We got the riches and we got the riches. So the two riches are correct. We are the one that's sending the Western Union 10 digits to the people. And beyond that, we are the one that are connected to them in so many ways. Either we're from the same village, we're from the same high school, we're a member of the same church. In fact, we have an overseas branch of our churches here. All of our schools got alumni associations here. All the counties got county associations here. I'm saying if we go through those various networks and talk to these people, the proposition will pass. And when the proposition passes, we will have achieved one aspect of that. In fact, we will have achieved more than 2/3 of the issues that face Liberian with dual citizenship. Like I say, no longer you will be going to Liberia to go look for a visa. You will go in and out. The next thing that will be about the 2 to 5% of us that in the diaspora that want to be active in the political process in our country. That is moving again for another referendum that will reduce the restriction. There has to be restriction, except that our own went too far. The restriction went too far. We want to pull
Yes,
some of them back.
I agree. But you say we got to get our foot in the door.
Yes.
Now, let me ask you this. You right now have an opportunity, a forum where you can speak to thousands of Liberians in America, in the diaspora, and other parts of the world. What do you say to us? I need you to speak to us right now, speak to Liberians. What do you think we can be doing ourselves to make sure that this word get out to our families, get out to those we support, get to our alumni associations, our organizations, our community organizations. Speak to us, tell us how we can partner with you for our own welfare and our own benefit.
Thank you. Thank you for this beautiful opportunity. Thank you, Reverend. And on that note, I would like to appeal to my fellow Liberians in the diaspora. The proposition is not a perfect proposition. We are not promoting it as a perfect proposition. The proposition has its flaws, but the proposition maintain our rights to our country. It maintain our link to our country.
Yep.
It create the equality between Liberian men and Liberian women. That one thing, under Liberian law, a Liberian mother cannot pass on the Liberian citizenship to their child. Yes.
Still in this day?
In this day and age, a Liberian mother cannot pass on the Liberian citizenship to their child.
Hold on 1 second. I need you to hold on to that thought. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening right now, especially your mother, your sister, your aunt, your daughter, you need to get involved with this, because what I'm hearing right now from the advisor, okay, on the all Liberian dual citizenship, the strategic advisor, what I'm hearing from him is your ability to influence the future of your own children lies in your hand right now. We need to get every woman involved. Every mother, every aunt, every grandmother, and we need to get together and make sure that our voices are heard loud and clear while we say yes, while we say an unequivocal yes, while we say a vivid yes, while we say a loud yes to Proposition 1. I want you to go on, my brother. Talk to us.
Thank you for that reinforcement. So yes, that's the current law we have. Our sisters cannot pass on that rich Liberian citizenship to their children.
Wow.
This proposition reverses that.
So wait a minute now. So if she had a child and she's a mother and that father is no longer alive.
No, let's say if she has a child.
I don't say he came from a different nationality, but he's no longer alive. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, then the child is basically stateless.
Hey, man. Are you guys listening to this?
The child is basically stateless. And you know what? What many Liberians don't know is that situation applies to many Liberian children in Liberia right now.
Of course, especially when you think of what happened with ECOMOG being there. So many other nationalities who had children by Liberian women. So the women have no voices.
They don't have no voice. And let me tell you another sad piece. I will go to a piece. Let me tell you, there is a Liberian girl, young Liberian girl, that has a foreign father. And the only country the girl know from the time she was born is Liberia. She speaks her mother language. She's in the culture of her mother. But guess what? Because this girl cannot assume Liberian citizenship
through her
mother, this Liberian child, by all metrics,
by all indications, right?
By all indications, guess what? This child had to go and naturalize in her own country of birth. To be Liberian.
So it's like the DACA's children in America.
Yeah. So this is the situation. And this is why we're saying, Reverend, that this proposition may not be all that perfect when it comes to the political jobs. Let's be clear. All those exclusions are political jobs. But the proposition maintain our heritage, it maintain our link, it make our link to our country unbreakable. It allow our sisters that may be involved in relationship with other nationals to pass that Liberian citizenship to their children. So this is why we asking people to vote yes on this proposition. We asking the alumni association in this country. We think all of us that have our connections in Liberia, private, public, to reach out to our people. And like I said, some of the opposition is also fueled by, I don't want to say this way because people might take it negatively, but it's fueled by low information.
Okay.
Low information. Let me put it that way.
Well,
You know,
because people can't act on what they don't know.
what they don't know.
Yeah.
So the people, the few people who understand it that want to go against it, they go to our people and misinform our people. That in fact, this dual citizenship thing the people talking about, they want to make Lebanese people, they want to make Indian people citizens, and the people want, they misinform the people. And this is why I was making my example that in my circle of friends that I interact with that were opposed to dual citizenship. By the time I break it down, you
look, Kone, you're absolutely right. One of my big peeves with the Liberian legislature, the leadership of our country, is what we have in Article 10. It talks about the Liberian Constitution being printed, disseminated, and taught in every school in that country.
Right.
And because it's not taught, people don't realize that only people of Negro descent can be citizens.
Exactly.
They don't understand that Lebanese can be citizen, Indian can be citizen, white man can
They
be
don't
citizen.
understand that.
Only black people can be citizen in Liberia. Our people don't know that because our constitution is not taught.
I met a Liberian who, when we started the discussion, the guy tells me, the guy said, "Oh, but my representative told me that if we pass dual citizenship, the Indian men will go buy up our village."
Amen.
I said, "Buy the thing for Indian people."
So what are we doing about educating our people through the length and breadth of the country? Is through conversations like this?
Through conversation like this, like sometimes we go to Liberia, we do the media blitz. And in fact, this is what has moved the dual citizenship thing. Because it was stuck for a long time.
Wow.
It was stuck for a long time. Because even the politicians were afraid to touch it because they feel that the people, their constituents will go after them.
People are texting in right here, and they said they're getting well informed, they're getting good things. What I want to do is I want to put up a number that people can call in and ask you some questions. Okay. Because this is a great conversation. This is a conversation that should be held in every Liberian home. Every Liberian home in every corner of the world, every Liberian school, every Liberian alumni association, every Liberian association, every community association, every Liberian church. Every Liberian church, and I'm going to add my voice to it Sunday after Sunday. As much information as I have, I will pass it on. But I want to also keep the conversation going with you. But I want to put up the number that folks can call with questions right now. Right now. Folks, if you have any questions, that's the number you can call. And don't feel free. I told you we have the virtuosos, the experts, those who are erudite, learned on this subject matter of Proposition 1 dual citizenship. Let me ask you this. Do you know how this stuff affects you? Do you know how it's going to affect your children and your grandchildren? Do you know how it's going to affect the property you got in Liberia? Because, hey, listen, if you're American, you can't own land in Liberia. That's how they got it right now. Am I wrong about that?
That's how it is. And guess what?
Uh-huh.
I met one of my well-learned colleagues, well-learned colleague, and he said, well, Kuni, that dual citizen. I mean, there's a person who has family here, has children here. Mm-hmm. And I said, my man, we're killing ourselves doing all this work. We're building houses back in Liberia, and you are opposed to dual citizenship. Why? He said, but my children inheriting my property in Liberia.
Where were the children born?
No, the children born here. So
where? In America?
In America. So
how do we inherit the property?
So I said, guess what?
I mean, they could inherit it. They could go there and live on it illegally, but they can't own it.
So this is why he tells me his solution to it is he said, "Oh, I will open a blind trust." So,
Really?
but look at it from this point. Ah, women Kuni born in Liberia, I will
Uh-huh.
have to go through legal manipulation for my children to benefit from my hard work in Liberia. Is that the practical way you want us to go? Or do you want to join us to change this proposition so everybody can be free to do what they want to do as Liberians? Which one is easier? To vote yes or to go pay lawyer to go create something and blind trust so that your children can secretly administer your property? Is that the way you want to go? These are the questions. These are the questions.
I know this. I know on the 8th is being voted upon, but have you guys? You know, one thing I respect here in the United States. Before people go for a vote, they know the verdict. They know how many votes they got, how many people they got. What are the prospects of this Proposition One coming to fruition?
Well, to be honest with you, we feel very good where we are. Like I said, if you know the history of this dual citizenship thing, I think the eminent told you from uh, former Vice President Warner to the late Udo Manston to the veteran preacher Reverend Lloyd, John Lloyd,
My
all of
Baptist
these,
brother.
yeah, all of
Yes.
these. I mean, from the onset, they thought that this was a no issue. They thought that it was just it was a clear cut thing. We from Liberia, we force here, the war force us here. We just want to be, we just want to maintain our link to our country.
That's right. Because who that? Our brothers and our sisters there.
Exactly. But when they
That,
went to
our
Liberia,
villagers are there. Our same, that us.
they
But
learned
you
that.
know what? You know what? It doesn't surprise me though, because let me say this: the house I lived in as a young man, Benson Street, Snapper Hills, huge house, probably has about what 3, 6, maybe 8, 9 bedrooms. I lived in the house. When my father died, I lived in the penthouse. I go back home to my house. Consider Liberia my house. Okay, I go back home to my own house on Benson Street, and my brother tell me there's no room there for me.
Okay.
The place I used to stay, the place I used to live before he came there, because I
So,
be in America, and that is how I see Liberians are being treated who are in foreign countries in terms of citizenship, in terms of the right to be able to live in your country as a citizen and
so,
have a citizenship from where you come from.
so they got into a landmine, and we've been in this struggle all along. For the 12
Wow.
years of Madam Selly, we worked. She gave whatever support she could give to it. She kept it alive. And fortunately, President Weah came along and took it by the bullhorn. Now, this is the point. This is the point I want to make. The biggest opposition from the diaspora to this proposition is the issue of the job, which we say we understand, we disagree with, but we don't think that that is the defining moment for this proposition. The defining thing for this proposition is that the whole issue of our linkage to our country will be settled by constitution once and for all. Period. And the other thing that people don't know, when you talk about dual citizenship, they talk about only people that live in America. But this proposition also affects Liberians living in the sub-region, in Ghana, in Nigeria, all over the place. It affects the thousands of Liberians' children that are the product of our war. The Ecomo, the Ugandans, their children all over the place. They have to have citizenship. We shouldn't put these children through the trauma of that little girl that I told you about that have to naturalize in the only country she knows to be her country.
Wow, wow. You know, as I think right now, I
You
just
know,
look at Israel again. You
it's,
had the people of Israel living everywhere in the world, but they came
it's
together, I believe, in 1944, reestablished the nation.
right.
Okay, and now Israel is one of the strongest nations in the world because of the many people who came from other parts of the world who are, in fact, part and parcel, who are Israelis.
So,
We
Reverend,
limit our ability to be the best we can when we take a whole pool of us and give us no opportunity whatsoever to be a part of nation building. Go ahead, my brothers. Go ahead.
Reverend Martin, to be honest with you, I don't want to minimize the political participation of Liberia in the diaspora. I don't want to minimize that because I myself and many others, I don't know what they may be at any point in time in Liberia, but that political participation is just a small piece of this pie. It's just a small piece. Like I told you, it affects about only 5%, 2 to 5% of the population in the diaspora. Many of our brothers and our sisters that want to go back to Liberia, they just want to go to Liberia without facing any problem because they have another citizenship. They don't want to be going to Liberia. Can you imagine you live in Minnesota? You have to travel to Washington, D.C. to get visa to go to Liberia. Or you got to spend almost $300-400 to get visa to go to your own country of birth. We want to stop all of that. Then when we stop that now and we enjoy that benefit, they put in the door, we can say, you know what? They think why you're talking here. In fact, we got the right to vote. We will be voters.
Yes.
You know.
Because there's basically, okay, so we will not be disenfranchised from the right to vote.
No, we got a right to vote.
Okay, but because we need to have the right to impact the success and of our country.
And mind you, Rabbi, there is also an off-ramp in this proposition. This proposition also says that despite these restrictions we have in the law, if you want to participate in these political processes, all you have to do now is to say, you know what, even though I was a citizen of England, I'm giving my English citizen away because now I want to be senator from Sino County. It has that.
So you can still do that.
You can still do that. There is an off-ramp.
Okay.
There is an off-ramp. But I think the argument here is that somebody want to hold their British passport and also be senator of Sino County. That's the argument. That is the argument. So in the law, there is an off-ramp. If you say, I've been living in America for all these years or living in England or Australia, if you go back to Liberia, you think that Liberia is where now you want to put your final flag and you want to represent your people, the law simply says, just give us the Australian citizenship and then you can run.
And you know, many Liberians who I do know who are living in the diaspora, and let me say this, America is only one of the places. We got Liberians all over the world.
All over the world.
From the wall. I know this because on my Sunday service, I got Liberians in my service from Australia. I got from Somalia, from Istanbul, from London, from Paris. I mean, all over the world. All over the world.
And Ravi, let me put it away. All these Liberians you interacting with, let's be honest here. How many of them you talk to the country, you say, Ravi, the main reason I'm going to Liberia is because I want to be Deputy Minister of Finance.
No, these guys want to go do their own business.
They want to go do their stuff.
Yeah, a lot of these guys have no interest in government jobs.
You see? So again, I'm not minimizing the political job aspect of it. I'm just saying we can have this proposition and then we can revisit. Besides the political jobs, there are other things we can do in Liberia. We can be entrepreneurs, we can be teachers, we can be doctors, we can be agriculture, we can be farmers. You can do a whole lot of things.
And anything you name, we need it.
We need it.
Anything you name, we need it. We are a country in dire straits, and the very gifts that can help elevate us, we're having a difficulty accepting it and receiving it.
So if your position is that we must not accept the proposition until a guaranteed political job, then we say no. Because that's not what you see when you advocating for people, you gotta know why the people you advocating for what they want. What they want.
Wow.
Nobody is coming us to say, oh, you'll get dual citizenship because I want to hold an American passport and be minister in Liberia. You know what the people tell you?
But Wilma, I'm gonna throw a monkey wrench in this conversation here because my own, you know what I said about Reverend Martin, try to bring controversial situation.
I told you, I know you.
Listen. I told you I've been in America for 44 years. I never became a citizen because I wanted to do the legal thing. Right. I wanted to make sure I circumscribed to the rule of law in Liberia. But
Right.
you and I both know,
Right.
you and I both know, and Liberians listening do know, of individuals who have other citizenship in the world and have gone to Liberia, have held elected office, own land, run for office, sat in some of the highest seats. You know that. But these people are all doing it illegally. And those are who trying to do the thing legally, we're running into walls. Talk to me about that.
So that what we call it, don't ask, don't tell. That is don't
Woo!
ask, don't tell. And some of our friends that are against what we're doing, they say, oh, the don't ask, don't tell is better. Let's continue, don't ask, don't tell. But the reason why you don't want to continue, don't ask, don't tell, is because you don't know when that law will be selectively applied to you.
Correct.
There is
Correct.
what they call the selective application of standards, of rules, of laws.
Or the selective exclusion.
The selective exclusion.
Wow.
So
Wow.
you're
Wow.
right. So it is true that all of us will be hearing these reports of Liberians who hold citizenship of other countries that are senators, that are cabinet ministers. But guess
Yep.
what? That don't ask, don't tell.
But 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 but
So
but you
we
do
want
have
to
to get
eliminate.
confirmed for these offices sometimes.
Yeah. So we want to eliminate don't ask, don't tell
We want to do the thing the right way.
the right way.
Okay,
And that
folks,
was
look, we want to do the right thing because doing the right thing is the right thing to do.
exactly. And that will go to my example that the fact that you pass to the stop sign every day and the police don't stop you doesn't
Uh,
mean you can't be stopped there. And guess
it,
what?
it means you stay illegal.
You stay illegal. And look, the thing is real, Remy. Look, there is this very prominent Liberian educator. I forgot her, Elizabeth. I think she was in California. She went to
Davis.
Davis. She went to Liberia, a very successful educator. She transformed the William V.S. Stoneman College in Maryland County. I mean, elevated the standard of that university. And her achievement was so pronounced to the point where the president wanted to consider the lady to be the minister of education. You know, the president had described the educational system as a mess. So
Right.
apparently she needed somebody that would go in there, and jumpstart some things. And this lady, despite her qualification, despite the fact that she a Liberian and everything, when she got to the Senate, and when she decided to be honest with our legislators and told them that she held an American citizenship, immediately the hearing came to an end.
Wow.
So we
Wow.
lost that valuable human
Asset.
resource,
That asset.
that asset. So and this is why we're fighting for this change. We may not get everything we want right now, but we do believe that we will get what we want later on. You
Wow.
know,
Wow.
and the example we made, look, they look at the history of black people in this country, Ravi.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think if the freedom of the slaves at the point they wanted to free the slaves, you think if they have made a law, if they have made a law, say okay, we're coming free now, so you can go vote. You think that law will coming past? No, but they got free
Step by
first.
step.
They got free first.
Yeah.
Then after that, they went through another 100 years of Jim Crow. They're still fighting for voting right in America here.
And it's still being suppressed.
They're still being suppressed. So the idea that some people have that the only way we must vote yes on this thing to get everything 100%, I don't see any social change theory that support that. You got to create a revolution for you to have it. It is not social change. Social change is
Ladies and
gradual.
gentlemen, we're speaking with some very brilliant Liberians who have been on the struggle for more than a decade for Proposition 1 for dual citizenship for Liberians. This proposition affects every Liberian. It affects, in fact, the trajectory of our country for the future. We're talking tonight with Wilma W. Cooney, strategic advisor on All Liberian Conference on dual citizenship, and also eminent Emmanuel S. Wetty, chairman of All Liberian Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, right now, I just want to, he's been away a little bit. He's been taking care of some business, but he's back. We've been listening to your colleague giving us some deep history. Eminent Emmanuel Eswati, chairman of All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. Talk to us. What's on your mind? What do you want to say to us about this great initiative that you guys have taken for millions of Liberia and hundreds of thousands of Liberians in the diaspora, their children and their children's children throughout the world? What do you have to say to us on this issue?
Well, I want to say thanks to Eminent Coney for the kind of job that he's doing. I know very good job. I can't go back and repeat what he said. The only thing I want to say tonight is we just want to appeal to Liberians to vote yes on Proposition 1. And that will be good for our generation and the generation yet unborn. As Eminent Coney mentioned, these things happen gradually. Let us get our foot in the door and we can work things out. So, Eminent Coney presentation is very good. I'm sorry that coincidentally I'm on call this week and we're having a lot of issues at work, so I'm taking care of stuff. So, but I just want to tell you,
living in America. It's called living in America. Yeah. It's okay. We understand.
Yeah, when you're doing the IT work, I was just unfortunate that things are going on wrong, but I will yet be popping in. But Eminent Coney is doing well, and he represents us very, very well. So I just want to appeal to the Liberian people to vote yes on Proposition 1.
Let me, on behalf of the Liberian people, thank the both of you for your stick-to-itiveness, for not relenting, for not giving up. One of the things the Word of God says is, it makes it very clear. It says, the race is not to the swift. The race is not to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, but to he that endureth to the end.
To the end.
Now, yeah, you've been running this race a long time. Paul says, I fought a good fight. I've kept the faith. I finished the course. Hence there is laid for me a crown of righteousness. And we're looking for this crown to come up on December 8th. Talk to me about December 8th.
So this is what in the plan for December 8th. Right now we are putting a delegation together from the diaspora that will be on the ground. You can't be here and do everything by remote control.
No, you can't. Not something like this.
Not something like this. We do have partners on the ground. We have great guys, great Liberians that are working on our behalf on the ground. But a delegation will be leaving from here that will join our home-based partners shortly. And you know what it means. When you come from the great United States of America and you hit Liberia, you know what it means. You know what it means to host a press conference. You know what it means to ask anybody to do anything for you. We want to go to campaign for the proposition. So on the basis of that, the All Liberian Conference of Dual Citizenship is having a Zoom event on November 7th. And
hold on. Folks, I hope you're paying attention. The All Liberian Conference is having a Zoom when?
November 7th. If you can hear me, maybe you can come here 2 minutes to give the video on that.
I want to put something up on that.
Yeah.
You're having a Zoom conference?
On November 7th.
Yeah. We're having a Zoom conference on November 7th. The conference starts from 2 to 4. And the Eminent
What is it, Eastern Standard Time?
The Eastern Standard Time. And as Eminent Coney mentioned, we appreciate if you make a donation of $100 to support the campaign for dual citizenship. We have the link. It will be on the day of the conference. And if you have any interest, you can call me. My number is 614-483-8192.
Okay, so hold on. Let's repeat that number.
614 483 8192.
8192. Yeah. Folks, here's the number. 614
483
8192.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
the number, and that is for the All Liberian Conference Zoom conference meeting on November 7th from 2 to 4. From 2 to 4. Folks, I want you to write this down, put it on your calendar, because this affects all of us. All of us. All of us. Not one of us, but all of us.
So Reverend, we'll be having this Zoom meeting on this day, and the purpose of the Zoom meeting and the donation is to contribute to the travel of the delegation to Liberia. Now, when the delegation is on the ground, there are a number of things the delegation is going to do. Uh, Press, interview, building consciousness, traveling to the different counties. Because the proposition is nationwide, not just based in Monrovia.
Correct.
So you were asking me what the people in the diaspora can do. That one of the things that they can do to contribute to this Zoom thing, and then the other one we went over it. Let's get in contact with our families and our friends. You said it, very correctly. We got the two arrows. We got the riches and we got the riches.
Correct.
Yeah. All of us here, we have some kind of extensions in Liberia. Then at the same time, we are the support base for so many of our brothers and sisters.
Correct.
And these people are likely to listen to us. I mean, some of the people that I talk to, like I said, my friends and my brothers, my relatives, they're all very clear now on the issue of dual citizenship. Some of the things didn't even make sense to them. Like I was telling you, they say, "Wow, you want to tell me we got law in the country that say all of the things you say?" I said, "Yeah." So we need to get in contact with our people on the ground. We need to support the Zoom conference, and we also need to be accommodating of the views of our brothers and sisters who may not agree with the proposition because of the restrictions. But the only thing we can tell them is, let's get our foot in the door and then we can fight. Because the thing is, if you ask them, if we put this one with restriction aside, how do we get a perfect one? Guess what? They say we will keep advocating. But nothing stops us from putting the one in our pocket to continue the advocacy. There is nothing that stops us.
Correct.
We can beg this win and continue the advocacy. You can't say we must set this wing aside, start from zero, and continue advocacy.
You know what I want to say to my people right now who are listening, Liberians, if you're listening out there, one of the things we have as a parable in Liberia is how do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time, one bite at a time. The strategic advisor Will McConney has told us we need to get our foot on the door. We need to get inside. When we get inside, we can pry and open some more. But we need to get inside. But let me also say this: money is the milk of any campaign. Of any campaign, anything you want to undertake, you can't do it without money.
You
One of the
cannot.
reasons why we're in America right now, why we see Biden is doing so well, is because he has been well funded well funded, well funded. Right now, if we look at the situation of the state in the South with Harrison and what's his name, this funny white boy who has always been there. Harrison is doing well and has a chance to get his foot in the
Yeah.
door because money is the milk. Money is the milk in politics. Money is the milk in any campaign. This is a campaign for the future of our nation. This is a campaign so your children, your children's children, your great great grandchildren will be able to have citizenship in the land where the DNA, where the blood that runs in the stream is a part of. So I'm admonishing all of you that are listening, please. You hear the number? In fact, of all, here is the information. The All Liberian Zoom Conference is on November 7th. Write it down in your calendar from 2 till 4 from 2 till 4. And the number you can call to reach out to them and help in any way is 614 483 8192. 8192. 614 483 8192. What we're dealing with, ladies and gentlemen, we're dealing with the proposition, amen. Here we go. We're dealing with the proposition one of dual citizenship for Liberians. And listen, I don't know if you're out there, but we're asking you if you got any questions. If you got any questions, just call in and you will have your questions answered or you will have clarity to something that's on your mind. Don't wait until he leaves and say, oh, you know what? I should have, I would have, I could have. Here is an opportunity to ask the man directly. And I tell you, they've been doing this for more than a decade, fighting for us, for all of us. They've been the Joshua fighting in the battle for dual citizenship for all Liberians. And we want to make sure that we support what they do. They need your support, and they're out here battling for all of us. This fight is not just theirs; it's ours as well. So we too need to get involved. If you have any questions, just dial that number. We'll get you on the speaker with our brother Wilmot Cooney right now. My brother, talk to us. You got about 10 minutes. What do you want to say?
Well, really, what I want to say is just to piggyback on what you said. This is the time for us to come together as Liberians. I know many times we say, oh, Liberians are difficult to work together, but we've worked together on so many issues before. We worked together on the issue of immigration, and we saw the great relief that
Correct.
our community got.
And some of us are beneficiaries of that. Amen.
Exactly.
That is why, like I told you, I'm not a citizen. I'm a green card holder. But
Right.
you know what? I don't want to lose any of the property Levi Martin left. Okay, and I don't want to go there and be driving with unlicensed. Amen.
So,
And get
so
stopped.
despite despite all of that, I mean, as a community leader, I've seen Liberians working together in so many incredible ways on things that they believe in. I've seen people at the level of their counties building infrastructures in their county. I've seen alumni associations supporting their alma mater.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen church organizations supporting their churches.
Yeah.
So I'm just appealing to all of us to come together on this issue of this proposition.
Support
Again,
your citizenship right.
support your citizenship right.
Yeah.
They don't ask, don't tell doesn't work.
No.
Somebody may find you out one day and selectively deal with you.
Yep.
So it's not an option. The proposition got some flaws. We agree on that. We don't disagree with you.
It's not perfect.
It's not perfect. But we are saying that let's work together. It took us almost more than a decade to get this little one. Let's put it in our pocket. And while it's in our pocket, we'll fight to make it better.
Folks, I hope you're listening because listen, America has been around since what, 1776, and it's still striving to be a more perfect union. It is still striving. It hasn't reached it. It's not perfect. And while the proposition may not be perfect, but we need to start supporting it right now. And you know something? I hope she's on and can hear me. Here is a very powerful and influential woman, my sister, Esther Richards. She's strong in the Providence Baptist Church. She's strong in the Barrel Association. She's strong everywhere she goes. She's a strong woman. And there are thousands and hundreds of thousands of women who will not have a voice if they had a child by somebody else. That child is going to struggle to become a Liberian citizen because the women don't have the same pull as the male factor. That's one of the things I learned tonight. Esther, I hope you're there. I hope you will dial this number and speak with my brother for a brief moment. Esther Richards, I'm calling on you. I'm calling on you. I'm calling on Howard Freeman Richards. These are strong women. These are strong women with a lot of pull. Both of them pull organizations. One has pulled the strongest and most solvent Liberian school alumni association. I'm talking about Joanna Howard Freeman Richards. You had the name Richards. She's had been the chairman for the B.W. Harris Alumni Association and has done an excellent job. Pull a huge group. I know she's going to be talking to them to move towards saying yes to Proposition 1. Also, Esther Richards, strong deacon in the Baptist Church. Strong deacon leader in her association. Esther, one of you got a call, 732-754-9172. Go ahead, my brother.
So first of all, I want to acknowledge Mrs. Richards. She's my sister. You see how I grew up small? Joanna Joanna is my sister. And but I want to acknowledge her, I'm looking forward to her calling.
Okay.
But what I was saying is that we got to work together on this. There are chances for us to make it better. Look, even when the proposition passed the legislature, this is what many people don't know. When it passed the legislature and after the passage, we started making contacts and reacting to it. Some legislators wanted to bring it back.
Okay.
To work on it. But the point is, if they have withdrawn it, if we are going outside of the constitutional time for amendment, because we started pointing out some of these flaws that, the proposition restrict natural born citizens more than naturalized citizens.
Wow.
And some people say, what? What are you talking about? We say, yeah. The restriction you're giving us, far too, they are far too reaching than
You give
naturalized
more
citizens.
rights to the people who naturalized than the people who born
So when they
who got a navel
realize,
string buried there.
it, some of them wanted to bring it back. But if they have brought it back to kind of refine it, by the time they get it back, then it will set the referendum outside of this electoral cycle. That
Okay.
means we had to wait 2023
And you already have the president on board with
on
this
board. So
proposition
so
one.
so the consensus was that, okay, let's get this one. 2023, we also have another chance.
Correct.
And just like you say, the American Constitution that we all cherish, it's been amended so many times. People still calling for amendment. I'm making this plea. I'm emphasizing it to accommodate the concerns of our few of our brothers and sisters who say they don't want it, for them to join us to get our foot in the door. We get our foot in the door, we can work together again and remove those and reduce those restrictions. If
You
we
know
don't
what?
have to,
I want to want you to receive the thanks from Mulba Borse, a good friend of mine, strong
thank
supporter
you.
of my ministry. He says, thanks for the struggle, Emmanuel Wetty. Thank you so much for the struggle. To both you and Wilma, and to Wetty, to both of you, Coney and Wetty. Look, we owe you guys a lot.
Of
We owe
course,
you. We owe you guys a lot. And I'm asking my people. We just spoke here on Sunday. If my people who are called by my name. If we're gonna be Liberians, then we got to fight for our rights in that country. And if you're gonna fight, that means you got to put your hand in your pocket. You got to
and
put your hand in your pocket. You got to put your money where your mouth is. Folks, I'm asking you guys to please, by all means, do what you can to support the All Liberian Conference, and they have a Zoom meeting coming up. And how will people be informed? I've got it out here, but how will we be able to get the link to get to that Zoom?
I think when they call the number, Imaya will send the link
Okay,
to
all you
them.
got to do is call this number.
And Ravi, just what you said, look, it makes perfect sense for me. I'm not even talking about myself, but there are a lot of people that make a lot of sacrifices, towards this goal. Like we keep talking about Bishop Warner,
Yeah,
former
Benny
Vice
D.
President Warner, Reverend Lloyd, even the senior Lloyd and the junior Lloyd, all of them.
I keep telling people, y'all don't get vexed with the pastors when they get in these things because both the people you're talking about are ecclesiastical men. You're talking about the bishop and you're talking about the reverend, and they're talking about what is best and just for the Liberian people.
So there are a lot of people, a lot of people. We can't name them because then when you get into the naming business, you will leave out somebody's name and the people,
So
yeah, then
true,
that's
so
a
true,
problem.
so
But
true.
but everybody will acknowledge the sacrifices that Imaya Weti has made and continue to
And
make.
Will McCooney.
Well,
I would say again, my major strategic advisor. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
but
Take your flowers
but
while you can hear it
but let
and
me let
smell
me
it.
let me highlight what these sacrifices, because some of these things sometimes when people criticize, they don't know what other people put into it. We all in America doing the 8 to 7 job.
Uh,
People leaving their jobs, flying over the Atlantic Ocean, going to Liberia to advocate for Liberians. You understand what I'm saying?
right?
People leaving their jobs. Nobody pay. They either got to use personal time or
Personal
they got
money.
to take no pay
Uh,
to go to Liberia to advocate for Liberians. So there are a lot of people that have made sacrifices to this thing. And let us not, make it, let us not make it to something that doesn't worth anything because of these few restrictions. These restrictions, I believe they can get it done. For me, Reverend Martin, I'm here in the diaspora. And many other people in the diaspora that got many other ideas for going to Liberia. Some people want to go do their farming.
some
Some
people want to
people,
go build church.
some people want to go build churches. Some people want to go do real estate.
Yep.
Some people want to go into research.
Some people
Some
want
people
to
want
teach.
to go into. Some people want to go to tourism. So let us not make the exclusions of the government job as the only reason why we should go against this thing.
And you know
I
what?
understand
Each of those areas you mentioned, those are people who are making jobs, creating jobs
creating
for
jobs.
the expansion of the
You know.
Liberian economy and family.
And let's take all the emotions from out of it, because sometimes the emotion our friend bring to it that, oh, I was born in Liberia, you want to tell me I can't be minister? It's an emotional reaction. You know, it's an emotional reaction. You want to tell me I'm born in Liberia, I can't be senator? But the fact that you even want to go around, there ain't no guarantee that you are coming win anyway.
Uh,
You know how many people?
I know
You know,
I know a few who took retirement money and went and ran, but then sooner or later they ran from there.
you know how many people supported politicians from here? The politicians got elected and they went to Liberia, they couldn't get a job, they had to come back here to come where?
I said they ran there, but they ran back.
You see? So we understand all of that. Let's take the emotions out.
Yeah.
We will come back to it. But like you said, right now what we can do is to support the Zoom conference, to call our friends and our relatives in Liberia, to use the 2 hours we talk about, our riches, which is our extensions,
Yeah.
and then the other riches, which is our economic support
Correct.
to families and friends, so that they can in turn support us at this time, because we need their support now.
Wow.
That's all we can do. And if we all do that, Proposition 1 will receive a resounding yes.
And what will be the impact on Liberia from your perspective when we get that resounding yes?
When we get that resounding yes, we will have once and for all removed all the restrictions, all of the excuses along the way why we can't do this, we can't do that. You know, there are many Liberians say, oh, I can't even invest in a country where my citizenship is not guaranteed. We will have removed all those excuses. There will be no longer any excuse why you can't invest in your country.
You know why you on that? I have a very good friend. He lives in Delaware. His name is Say Boyu. Brilliant guy. Mechanically, mentally, he can fix things. He can build things. And he wants to go and do some agricultural stuff in Liberia. Right. You know, this will open the door wide for a person like Say Boyu to be able to do something like this in our country.
So it removes all that restriction. You can form business partnership with other people to go and invest in your own country, knowing that you don't have to go, you don't have to do, how they call it, don't ask, don't tell.
And you can do it legally, you can do it
legally. Then on the most practical basis, you can now live wherever you are, whether that's Australia, whether that's China, whether that's Ghana, whether that's England.
Anywhere in the world.
Anywhere in the world, you can freely leave those places with your 2 passports in your hand and enter your own country without any embarrassment. Look, you know, people who are not familiar with these things, right? Sometimes they minimize. Look, one of my friends were coming from Liberia. Let me tell you, we were coming from Liberia. One of my friends were coming from Liberia. You know, he's an American citizen. So he got his visa from the Liberian embassy. But you know, when you got in Liberia, you home.
Yeah.
You know, I think they gave him 30 days or 45 days. He home. He there enjoying himself. I don't think the American passport even registered in his head. All he thinks is, oh, Papa, at home.
At home. A Liberian.
I will go back. I will go back anytime I want. The man stayed in the country almost 3 months.
Oh.
On a, I think 30-day visa. So he coming back now. He got to the airport. Then the immigration boy said, but Papi, you overstay. He said, why you overstay? I am my own country, you can't buy overstay. The beginning said, oh Papi, they passport where you bring, now your own country passport. You can't want different passport. So you overstay. Then he said, okay, but even if I overstay, I'm going back. So why you bothering me? Just imagine the man is about to board the SM Brussels, the engine warming.
Yeah.
So he said, but I'm going back, so no problem. Even if I overstay, the law is when people overstay in your country, you know, you let them
extradite them. You send them back where they came from.
They begin to say, but Papi, In that way, we can do deportation here. I gotta carry you back to Broad Street to process you.
What?
So,
My Lord, my
so
Lord.
he look at me. He look like he look right. Guess what? He had to get you something so he can get board a plane. But if we had dual citizenship, he wasn't going
It
to
would
go
not
through
be a
that.
concern.
It would not be a concern. You
Wow.
see? And many of the people that are saying, let's do this, don't ask, don't tell that how they enter our country. They enter secretly, they leave secretly. They leave by bribing people or by getting other higher up to intervene for their living. Why would you want to live like that?
Yeah.
You
Folks,
know?
it's always right to do the things by the law. We often say Liberia's corrupt, and we're trying to do it legally. We're trying to do it right. We're trying to do it in accordance with the law. We're not what is contravened to the law. So, any closing word, my brother? We've been on for over an hour and a half now.
My closing word is to just call for support. Support, 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 support. And you know, I learned something from you today too.
What's
I
that?
learned the two arrows.
No, you get one. I brought the other one, so we
Okay.
share. But that's what Liberia got to do. We got to
Yeah.
come together. We got to come together and share our education, our learning, our know-how, and that's what the dual citizenship allowed. It allowed both of us to contribute for the welfare of our country.
So in closing, I'm asking my fellow Liberians to use the two arrows,
Here you go.
to use their riches, and since they all sound too alike, and sometimes my pronunciation that kind of way, I like the other riches is your extension. Now what would mean? How
Yes.
far you link your linkages?
REACH and RICH.
Yeah. Then the RRCS,
Yeah.
that is the economic empowerment.
Hey, my man, Jaffe. And please
Let's
appeal
use
to the Liberian people because you guys need some money to be
Right.
able to do that, to be able to go through the length and breadth of Liberia, to go through there, to hold conferences, to meet on different radio stations, to create an
Exactly.
awareness, to make sure that the aid is something that we all can benefit from. My brothers and sisters, we all need to invest in this. Go ahead, my brother. Close with that.
Then my final appeal. My final appeal is to all of the senators seeking election in this race to make the issue of dual citizenship part of their campaign as they go throughout the country to campaign. In fact, all of the senators, if not most of the senators seeking re-election, they signed that proposition as sitting senators in the legislature. So we are expecting them now to go to campaign for that. And if we do all that, if the two arrows play, if we call our people in Liberia, if the senators put this thing on a ballot, on their campaign platform, going from place to place in the 15 counties of Liberia, Reverend Martin, I can assure you, come December 8th, we will have a yes vote. And through our collective effort, Liberian citizenship will be redefined as per the Constitution of the Republic of Liberia, declaring all other statutory laws null and void. Thank you.
Wilman, I want to thank you, the strategic advisor, All Liberian Council on dual citizenship. I also want to thank Eminent Emmanuel S. Wetty, chairman of All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship. And I want to thank all our listeners. On this Wednesday, we have the newly elected president of the Liberian Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention, the Reverend Dr. Samuel Bloomfield Reeds. He will be on my program, on my Bible study on Wednesday. They have 178 churches. 178 churches throughout Liberia. I will be speaking to my friend and brother, the newly elected president, to make sure that they push this as well in all
Thank you.
Baptist churches, the pulpit at the Providence Baptist Church. Us Baptists are behind this because we know that it benefits Liberia, it benefits the churches in many instances who depend on the riches of churches in America to help support it and the riches of Liberians here in America. And we will do all we can on every program from here in to remind people about this, to tell them about the conference. And the conference is on November 7th. we will do that. I want to thank both of you for being stalwart Liberians and reaching out to the nation that the length and breadth of Liberia will rise up. One great Liberian wrote, he says, brave men who work while others sleep, who dare while others flee. They build the nation's pillars deep and lift them to the sky. We want to thank you too for not only being awake, but for waking all of us up to lift Liberia to heights it hasn't reached as yet. Thank you so much. We want to thank all the members, officers, and those who support the All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship for your hard work. We want to look far back with people like Benny Warner and people like Reverend John, the last name?
Lloyd.
Reverend Lloyd, for the hard work they've done. And folks, let's keep pressing on until we win the victory. This is Reverend Charles Levi Martin serving as host tonight with C. Levi Martin Ministry on the All Liberian Conference for Proposition 1 and Dual Citizenship. That's what it is. Let's make it happen December 8th. God bless you all and have a good night.
Thank you. Thank you, Reverend Martin.
Thank you so much. Thank you all, ladies and gentlemen, for watching. Thank you for being with us. We invite you to be here Wednesday evening. Wednesday evening, we will have the Reverend Dr. Samuel Bloomfield Reeves, the pastor of Providence Baptist Church and the newly elected president of the Liberian Baptist Missionary and Educational Convention. My name is Reverend Charles Levi Martin. I am chairman of C. Levi Martin Ministries and pastor of the Unity Fellowship Baptist Church. I love you all. God bless you. And I want to just remind you to be with us on Friday. That's right. On Friday, we have a very interesting program we do on Friday right now. And our Friday program covers history of Liberia, past and present, with Samuel P. Jackson. It's been a great classroom every Friday night, and we will be picking off from, I believe, the 1950s come this Friday. So again, join us this Friday with Samuel P. Jackson as we go on to the history of Liberia, past and present. We will be doing that. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you for supporting. Come on. Appreciate you. We appreciate you. Please share this video. Share this video on dual citizenship. Let us support ourselves, our future, the future of our children and our nation. Come on. Thanks for watching. J. Howard Freeman Richards. Thanks for watching. Esther Richards. Thanks for watching. My good friend Tilma Gardner. My friend Say Boyer. My sister, Queen Esther Richards. Thank you. Dr. Womack. Thank you. Thank you. Titi, thanks for watching tonight. Dr. Stone Precious, Mulba Ishmael, the program has ended, but you can go back. It was a program on dual citizenship. The referendum, the proposition is going to be voted on December 8th. On November 7th, the All Liberian Conference, Zoom conference from 2 to 4. More information, dial that number 614-483-8192. Tonight we've had Emmanuel S. Wetty, chairman of the All Liberian Conference, and Wilma W. Cooney, strategic advisor, All Liberian Conference. We've been talking to you about Proposition 1, dual citizenship for Liberians. Listen, guys, we brought you some very good information, and I want to thank William Chenoweth for just, saying it out loud. We're getting some good information, and that's what it's all about. I want to be able to bring you vital information that's relevant and pertinent to the Liberian people. I'm going to try to do it on Monday. I know my plate is full because Wednesday is Bible study. Friday is Liberian history. On Monday, I'm thinking of it, where we're going to be bringing you angles of vision, different perspective from Liberia. Tonight, Proposition 1, so we can have one-way ticket. If you want to stay, it's all right. Ha! My name is Reverend Charles Levi Martin, and I've been your host to a Charles Levi Martin special. And the special tonight, Proposition 1, dual citizenship for Liberia. Our guests this evening were the eminent Emmanuel S. Wetty, chairman of All Liberian Conference on Dual Citizenship, and the strategic advisor, eminent Wilma W. Cooney, strategic advisor, All Liberian Conference. Thank you all for watching. Again, I'm your host. My name is Reverend Charles Levi Martin. Good night.